Hey, welcome back. Today we are at the George here in Richmond, Texas, and we have an amazing and beautiful home to show you. This is the Perry. It is a little over 2,100 square feet. We're gonna go and give you a tour about this. We're gonna talk to you about the George, everything it has to offer, and where it's located. And there's gonna be some really great information that I know you're gonna wanna hear. But come in, let's go and take a look at this, because this house is really impressive. We had a chance to see this being built over the last few months, and they did an amazing job on this. So first, let me just start off by saying, I love, this is gonna be your traditional Perry frontage out here. This, of course, is gonna be the garage right over here. So that'll be going away, that'll be your garage there. But then you're gonna have a great bedroom here, but I love how they went with the brick, stone, and then brick. And of course the contrast. So you got more of this taupe color on the brick, but with the, it almost looks like a dark, almost like a dark gray color in there. And so that looks really good. Now, of course, you do, just because of the way it's lined up, you got the gutters here, which actually does make it feel a little narrow as you're walking in. So something there that not super keen about, but great design nonetheless. Now, the other thing I really like about this before we get in is this door. Now, this is an 8-foot door, and I love the windows that they did here. Really impressive here, how great everything looks on that one. And it's a steel door, so it's got some weight behind it, makes you feel really good and secure. Come on in, let's go and take a look. All right, now we're here inside the model home. And I know I mentioned it when we were outside, but I just love this door. Again, you can see this is a steel door. Honestly, it's got to weigh probably around 25 pounds, maybe even close to 30. But again, just really impressive. Those are the things you don't typically see on a regular basis. But now we're gonna get into the meat of the house. And I know things that you're gonna, so this is a 4-bedroom house, and it's gonna have plenty of space. Like I said, this is around 2,169 square feet. Let's go take a look at the first bedroom here. Now again, before we get there, you got your entry closet, which is right here. Great space for any type of linens if you have guests coming in to stay here, because this room is its own full suite. Now, as you take a look at it, great space used throughout. Some of the other videos, if you look at it, they've got some of the different wallpaper here. Perry has done the same, so that's great to see wallpaper making a comeback, right? They always say things from the past come back. But now we're seeing how much space we have here. You've got your dresser right here, plenty of space. And then you can see just how much room you still have left over. So you've got the nightstands, but how much space we still have. And of course, there's just so many great features about this. Let's go take a look, because the one unique feature I like about this is it has its own bathroom here. So this is gonna be your suite. Now, when you come in, you're gonna have your quartz countertop, which is great, your black finish on the faucet here. And of course, toilet. Now, I'm not gonna open it because that's just been installed. Now, if I didn't mention to you, these homes are like brand new. They still have moving boxes in some of the different areas. But I love how they went with the, again, floor to ceiling with this tile. It even has a texture on it right here, which really makes it come to life. And of course, you got the accent tile right there. Coming in here, you can just see, this is the closet. You can see how big this is. I've got my arms all the way spread out, and I'm not touching anything. So you got a lot of space in here. Now, the other thing that really looks impressive is gonna be these 8-foot doors throughout. Now that's, again, that has been a really big staple coming in over the last few years, is putting in 8-foot doors throughout the subdivisions, the different neighborhoods, different models. Let's go out and take a look at the other few bedrooms, and then we're gonna go take a look at this kitchen and living room. All right, so now we're gonna go take a look at the rest of the house here as you walk in. Now let's go just pan here to your right. This is gonna be the garage. So you gotta imagine this is going to be a wall right here. And this is where your door is going to be coming out of here. So you do have a mudroom right in this area right here, which is always nice. Great spot for your briefcase, purses, shoes. Great spot there coming in here. Right through here across from the mudroom, you're gonna have your laundry room. Now this is being used for storage, so you don't wanna get too much into there, but that's gonna be where your laundry room is located there. Again, 8-foot interior doors, which is really impressive. Now, what I really like they've done here is things like this. You've got a great chandelier, and it's almost like a small little vestibule. And I love how it brings it in, some of the different architecture changes that you see. And actually behind you, if we look right back here, we see the tray ceiling that came in, which we didn't speak about earlier. But those are the different things, unique details that we're gonna start seeing in some of these homes, especially once you go from your starter home to your second, third, and fourth home. So keep following me, and we're gonna go take a look at the 2 other bedrooms that are gonna be here over to my left, your right. Now again, this does have the luxury vinyl flooring throughout the whole house, which is really beautiful here. The carpet was nice and plush. Now we're gonna have 2 rooms and a bathroom here that's gonna be used for the guests. So starting in, I really like this room here. I just feel like the way that they really use the space again is great. And then you've got the wallpaper that they've done on here as well. Really nice space here. This is actually almost feels like a queen size bed in here, maybe a full, but great size here. You have plenty of space. Again, I'm almost about 6 feet tall, and you can see just how much space I have here coming in. Now, the other thing that's really nice, I mentioned the closet in the other room. Same thing here. You can see how big this closet is. I got my arms wide out, and you can see how large this is. So there's a great spot, even if you wanted to put some type of cabinets, drawers back here for extra storage, you have that ability to do that. We're gonna go in and take a look at the other bedroom as well. And so we see here again, I love the paint that they did here. I'm a golfer, so maybe I like this room a little bit more than I should. But again, great use of space here. Now you're gonna have, this room is gonna come with, I would have to say there's probably about a 12 by a 13 size bedroom. Great size. Again, bed is huge, and you get more than enough space that you need to be here. Great windows. Now, in the past, you see the windows here that were not going to be super tall. You'd have probably about a 4 or 5 foot window here. Looks like it's going to be closer to around 8 feet on this window here. So great space, great light coming in. So this is the first, second, and third bedrooms that we saw here. Now we're going to go into the best parts of the house, which are going to be the kitchen here. Before we get there, just a quick shot. This is going to be the bathroom that services these 2 rooms here, as well as your guest. So just a good idea to know that this is going to be right here between these 2. It's this little hallway that juts off the kitchen. I'm Norbert, your Fort Bend County real estate expert, and we have helped hundreds of people buy and sell their dream home. Now we want to go and be your resource for all things in real estate, and we're going to be bringing you the local information that you need to know so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So make sure you stick to our page. We're going to drop a link about all this information here, and if you have any questions about the George, Perry, or any other home that we're going to cover, let us know and we're going to help you out. But now we're coming to the part that everybody wants to see. That's the kitchen right here. And I love the way they have this set up. You've got the L shape, you have the L-shaped countertop, but then you have the island here in the center. Now this is, again, you've got plenty of space here. As I mentioned, I'm about 6 feet tall, fairly wide, and I've got more than enough space, right? You've got cabinets, drawers, you name it. I actually love this. This is a gun steel finish on here. Really impressive. I've started seeing these in a few other places as well. But again, more countertops, drawers. You see, even for the trash can pull out here. Now again, a lot of these things are going to be upgrades that you can do at the design center, but really beautiful area here. You have the seal granite sink as well, and of course, black faucet. Again, the gun finish on this is just really impressive when you start looking at against the white cabinets as well. Of course, you have your vent hood here and your GE stovetop. Really beautiful how they did that. Great space too, so you have plenty of space for your large pots to be on here, and you're not going to run out of space here. Next, we're going to have the, again, GE appliances right here as well. Microwave right there. Looks pretty brand new. And you're going to have your oven here. Now, of course, you could always go and get the double ovens if you wanted to, but right here, they've got a setup here. And this is what I need. So if I decide to buy this house, I'm going to make sure it has this. It's going to be this coffee counter. Ours in our house just takes up too much space. I love it how this is just perfect to really do that. Now, last thing here, I want you to go and see. This is the pantry. Now, this is huge because you always needed more space. You have shelves if you want to do for, let's say, put some spices up here, different things here. But then you look how deep this is. I can, again, my arms are all the way wide, and you can see how much space you have. Plus you have this extra high cabinet. So you've got enough, or shelf, so you have enough space to put some of your large appliances on there. Great features that you can find here in this Perry model. Yeah. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that kitchen. It was absolutely beautiful. But now we're gonna go take a look into the rest of the house here. Now, as you can see, we've got all this area here. So the kitchen opens up to the dining room and to the living room here. So it's gonna, so you can see how this just all opens up. I really like the spacing here. You get enough space between you, so it's not gonna be too crowded to do this here. You can see how large this table is as well. Most people in reality are not gonna have a table this big, but they did it here to showcase how much space is actually in here. I also like when you get some of the different natural light that's gonna be right here, right? You're gonna have the 3 different windows here. Now, of course, depending if you do any type of structural upgrades, things like that could all change, but this really brings in a lot of natural light here. The other thing I really wanted to take a look at is gonna be this living room here. Again, as I mentioned, they're still styling this up, so it has its living room, I'm sorry, its TV, but right now you can see how great use of space this is. We've got the 3 large windows that are gonna be right here. And you've got, again, another 8-foot door, which brings in great space and how much room you have. Now, the big part of here is Perry, they always do a great backyard patio area, and they've done the same thing here. So you can see how they did this design here. I really like how that contrasts against the stone, but how much of an area, covered area you have back here. Now, if you start looking at what they've done, I do want to point something out here. When you look at that back fence, how large this area is. Something that's unique to the Georges. They've actually have about 10 feet deeper of a backyard than you're going to get at most subdivisions. Most subdivisions, you're going to get around 125 feet deep from the curb to back here. Here it happens to be about 135 feet, so you get an extra space here at the George. So great part to know that. And remember, you can even see in the background, that is going to be the Randall High School, Junior High, and Sternberg Middle School right there, which are zoned to the Lamar Consolidated Independent School District, so LCISD. Randall, if you don't know, just won its football state championship just a few years ago, and we're back there last year. So great things are happening at that school. Now, there will be an elementary being put here in the George in the next few years. Of course, they've got to get this a few more sales going because they just opened up less than a month ago. So a lot of great things happening here in Richmond. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going to happen. We're going to go back inside because a lot of the background noise, but we're going to be talking to you about, so now we're going to be talking a little bit about the local area because that's so important. If you're going to be living here, you need to know where you're going to be doing your shopping. So most times, most of your day-to-day shopping is going to be at the Brazos Town Center, which is located in Rosenberg, Texas. Now, the Brazos Town Center is going to be located in that direction, right up FM 2977 or Mennonite, as the locals call it. It's only going to be about 6, maybe 7 minutes away, so super, super close by. You want your cup of coffee? I do too. You can see me at First Cup Coffee, which is just going to be about a quarter mile away, so you can be there in about 3 minutes, and I'm usually there on a regular basis. But the point that I'm getting at is everything is super close by for you to get there. Now, if you wanted to go into Sugar Land, another great easy drive. Right up Benton Road, which is the main exit, you'll be able to go all the way up there in about 12 minutes. So super convenient for you to make that drive into Sugar Land. Be there in just a few minutes. Yeah. All right, so let's go take a look at this master bedroom and see how awesome this is, because I'm really impressed by this. So if you see, as we start off, the floor got brought in all the way in through here. Now, some of the other bedrooms had the carpet, but this master, they put the hard floors all the way through this. Now, this is going to be your luxury vinyl floor. But now let's look at what they did. Again, how large of a space this is, right? You've got your king-size bedroom right here, and your oversized nightstands. Again, how large these are. These are probably about 40 inches if I had to guess. So you see how wide this is, and then how high this is as well. You can see how large this room is, and of course you get the natural light that's going to be right through here. So much natural light coming in. Now this is, yes, there is a fence here, but that's because they're blocking the generator that's there. That of course will not be there when you buy this house. But again, love the natural light because that's such a key aspect of this. We're gonna go take a look into this master bedroom because it's just awesome. And guess what? There's another bathtub that I could get in there if I took baths. I don't, but I could get in there if I wanted to. All right, so as we look in here, we're gonna have two different vanities here. So again, you got the white quartz countertop in here, and I love the finish on the cabinets here. You've got the kind of almost of a light pine, if you will, color throughout. And then the same thing over here. So you got plenty of space doing that. Now, as you come back, as I mentioned, I also want to point out the floor in here. Again, what we're seeing in a lot of the new construction is no longer going with the typical flooring. They went with a different shape, different finish on that, which really just makes this room pop. And of course, here is a standalone bathtub here. And this is, again, like I said, it's beautiful. I can actually fit in there, which is pretty impressive just alone. Now, of course, you've got the shower here, which is going to be great. I love this around because you're going to have just a different texture of the different walls. And you're going to see how everything goes just really well. It gives it just so much more of a different, unique shape. And of course, you have the bench and the mud set flooring. And of course, you've got your closet right through here. So again, being used as a storage, so many stuff is still being built. When I say this model home opened up yesterday, it literally opened up yesterday. And so I believe we are the very first people to actually look in this, even though we've been coming here for months and seeing it before it was being built. So now let me just go and finish off by saying, okay, so there's so many great things happening here at the George, but there's a ton of other builders as well. So even though we're showcasing this Perry, there's so much more to see. Okay, so the George is a Johnson development community. And if you know anything about the local area, Johnson has done an amazing job developing the communities such as Veranda, Sienna, Riverstone, and a lot of the different others around the area as well. So I expect the same thing to be happening here and some of this amazing development and products that they're doing. Now, the other thing that they have done, this is a 1,500 acre development. So this is going to be just shy of around 4,500 homes. Should take about 10 years or so to go ahead and finish up. So again, they've got a great list of builders that are going to be coming in here. The other thing is this is part of the George Ranch land. So this was sold to Johnson Development about 1.5 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And so now they're going to be selling this home, or I'm sorry, they're going to be developing this and turning this into a great subdivision. Now, some local things. The George Ranch, super close by. You could probably be there in about 10 minutes. So it's a great spot for educational purpose to understand the history of this land right here. As I mentioned, this used to be part of the George Ranch. There used to be corn, cotton that was grown on this land here. As a matter of fact, as you come over the bridge, you can still see it. So many great things happening here locally. Can't wait to show you and tell you a little bit more about it. Go ahead and stick to some of our other different videos. Stick to our channel. We're going to have some great information about that as well. And in the link in our description, we're going to have our Richmond relocation guide that talks about not only the George, but all the other great subdivisions happening here in the area. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one.